guys, welcome back to October Reads, and when you're in danger, you better call that Phantom Stranger. That's right, today we're going to be highlighting Showcase number 80, the Phantom Stranger, and this is my first time getting a chance to read what I guess is supposed to be the first Silver Age appearance of the Phantom Stranger, so this comes from about 1968, 1969. You at least get a cool Neil Adams cover on that. But the main story for me here is the Dr. 13. So we'll get into that in a second, because that I thought was just going to be like almost a filler backup story, but boy was I wrong. So this actually has 3 stories basically in it. The overlaying story is some kids under a bridge. You're just hanging out late night, and they come across the Phantom Stranger. So the Phantom Stranger actually takes the time to tell them just a random story basically, and that's kind of our main story. So it's very much structured like the House of Secrets and that stuff we've already read here on October Reads. But in this particular issue, the Phantom Stranger, he's kind of helping out a guy who's a struggling artist. He actually goes to like an art fair and decides to like doodle some of the art he's seeing at the art fair, which most artists probably would be cool with anyway. But when this guy does this, he turns out he doodles like a secret code of a cult located in 60s New York. So when he does that, he is sought out by this cult and hunted down, so he doesn't have like their secret code that they've put into this painting basically. So the Phantom Stranger basically goes and helps this guy out. He actually gets down and dirty fighting these guys, which the Phantom Stranger I'm kind of used to, especially like the one I read in Morrison's Animal Man, a couple other appearances. He's usually not, he's almost more like a hybrid of the Watcher a little bit, except he'll kind of push our general protagonist in the correct direction without trying to get involved too much. This one, he actually goes and helps this artist get out of this jam basically by doing whatever action that needs to be done. So basically he saves the artist. That was the first story. There's not too much else to it than that. But the second story is spurred on by the fact when we go back to the kids under that bridge, they turn to ask the Phantom Stranger another question. And in typical Phantom Stranger fashion, he just disappears. He can appear and reappear and disappear at his whim, basically. But this couple comes and just to check on the kids, make sure they're all right. Turns out it's this guy named Dr. 13, the Ghost Killer. And Dr. 13, I have no idea who this character is. I never really read too much or heard of him prior to reading this. But he kind of stole this book for me. Like, his premise I thought was pretty awesome. Basically, Dr. 13 is a character who he's under this what's called the Curse of the 13, which basically all of his ancestors, his grandfather, his father, basically because they're under the Curse of the 13, suffered these awful deaths or tragedies. And Dr. 13 in here, his main goal is to basically disprove any type of supernatural story or anything like that. Basically to go even further in disproving his own family's legacy, that his whole family legacy is cursed and he's bound to this curse that he's going to have this like grisly tragedy or death happen to him. So immediately this character I thought was really awesome, and it's just a good counterpoint to what the Phantom Stranger is. Because obviously when one of the kids asks, like, have you heard of the Phantom Stranger? Do you know where our new friend, the Phantom Stranger, went? He goes, that guy isn't real. Anything you've heard about him, that's false. So part 3 of this Phantom Stranger story with Dr. 13, the Ghost Breaker, basically they have to come together to figure out, like, what are the kids doing under this bridge? So basically the city these kids live near, there's supposed to be like this big curse where this monster comes out and like attacks the city they live in. So they're gonna team up together to figure out what's going on. And of course, Dr. 13 thinks that there's no way that there's a monster. So they go to the city. There's basically a monster, but of course the Phantom Stranger uses his ghosting ability basically to go inside the monster, and there's some dude just controlling it. It's basically just a machine for somebody to control. It turned out it was a diversion, and Dr. 13 concluded it was when he found a couple dudes robbing a bank, using that as their diversionary tactic. So basically, yeah, Dr. 13 was proven right. This whole thing was a fraud, but when he went to ask the Phantom Stranger what he thought about the whole situation, he faded away like a ghost once again. So, kind of like I said earlier, is this a pilot series for the upcoming Phantom Stranger one that we get in the 70s? Yeah, probably. So, I thought that was a really awesome way to lead into a potential future Phantom Stranger series. So, this was a surprisingly good read. I knew it was going to be good, but I was very happy with every story that was told in this. I'm giving this one a solid 5 out of 5 for sure. Big thank you guys, and hopefully I'll see you next time here on October Reads.